Welcome back, everybody, to the Drunken Fumble Commissioner's Address. This is week 1 of 2017. Football is back. I am pumped. We have 11 guys returning from last year, which is fantastic. We have newcomer Wade coming in, taking up the free spot. Let's get right into it here. First matchup, we've got greatest of all time versus fourth and Lynch's. This was the second highest scoring affair of the week, and Stephon Diggs came to play. He really only played the first half. He had 7 catches for 93 yards and 2 touchdowns. I had some good scores on my team. Pittsburgh D in that 17th round, 32 points. But going up against Casey, who is playing LA, which is alright, and they got a good defense. Against Indy, playing against a shitty fucking quarterback there. 41 points. Man, his defense won him the week, really. He didn't have anybody really do anything too exciting, but Dalvin Cook did kind of come to play. He had a bit of a rough game. He was pretty wrapped up by the New Orleans D, but my Vikings took away the win. Looking at the bench here, there's not a lot of points sitting on the bench for either of us. My top 3 players, OBJ and Tom Brady and Russell Wilson, combined for 18 points. So that's cool, my first 3 picks. And I only lost by 16, 17 points. So, if they threw a touchdown each, I'd be pretty fucking close. But they can't, because it's only Tom Brady and Russell Wilson. Anyway, fourth and Lynch's takes the win away, 161 to 144. And with the point total and the win, Casey, fourth and Lynch's, is in second spot, and the greatest of all time starts his season off in 8th. Next matchup, we got the Capper Goats, or Capper greatest of all time. He's the Capper Goats. Against the Rusty Pole, we've got the two of the new Saskatoonites going at it. And Rusty Pole comes away with the worst winning score of the week, beating Capper Goats 114 to 109. So tight game there, but not a super exciting one. Adam Thielen on the Rusty Pole's side did show up, as did kind of all of Minnesota, so that's sweet. Matt Stafford showing off why he got the money, $135 million. He threw 4 touchdowns, 292, and 14 rush yards to top it all off. Sitting on the bench, not a whole lot of points. Looks like both teams kind of made the right choices here and ended up being shitty anyway, so that sucks. Next matchup, we got Bassett's Brawlers against the Broken Johnsons. Fuck, that sucks. David Johnson. Oh my god. What did he have for points this week? Okay, he had actually 13.1. Which isn't bad considering he's fucking dead for the whole year, which is just fantastic. Sorry, Eric, that sucks. He did actually come away with the win despite all that. 117 to 111 over Bassett's Brawlers. Bassett's Brawlers side, Zeke is playing for now. It looks like they might be going after it, but he did get 19 points on what was actually probably a slow night for him. He had a lot of catches, more than normal. He had 5 catches, but 19 points... It's not really that huge for Zeke. It's an okay game. Let's see what we got sitting on the bench here. Kenny Golladay from Detroit. That guy had 4 catches, 2 for touchdowns, and 69 yards. He had a good day. There's a lot of hype around him, so I'm actually kind of surprised somebody drafted him, to be honest with you. But anyway, good pickup. That is sweet. Broken Johnson's in 5th place with the win, and Bassett's Brawlers in 10th in the loss. Next matchup, we got Fear Boners, which I love your name, by the way, against Valech Vengeance. Valech Vengeance. This was the highest scoring affair of the week. Golden Tate, 21.4 points. He had a good night. Mike Gillisley, 3 rushing touchdowns for New England. I know New England couldn't throw the ball because I started Brady, but they were moving the ball on the ground when they had to, and Gillisley was good on the goal line. He had 3 touchdowns, so he could be huge. Baltimore defense yeah, I don't know where they came from, but Cincinnati looked bad. Andy Dalton had 4 picks, I think, 3 in the first half, and Baltimore, their defense was just on fire. But I don't understand, if you have AJ Green and you got 3 good running backs there, Tyler Eifert, who's playing, I think, fuck, he's never healthy, but how do you not get anything going at all? That's brutal. On the bench here, Leonard Fournette. Jacksonville showed their commitment to Leonard Fournette, and they couldn't throw for shit, but their defense showed up, and they beat Houston 29-7. But Fournette looks like he's the guy in Jacksonville. So he only had 3 catches, which, I mean, isn't bad, but they gave him the ball all night. Coby Fleener, I know he only had 16.4 points, which isn't huge, but if you have a tight end, that's kind of, you're happy to get that. He looked like one of Breeze's trusty guys last night. I hope they start using him more, because he looked like he played really well. Anyway, Fear Boners in the victory is in 3rd place, and Villette's Vengeance in the lost is 7th place. He is in top spot for the 0-1ers. Next matchup, we got Flabby Gooch against the waiver wire. This is a tight matchup, 132-128 in favor of the waiver wire. Waiver wire, LaShawn McCoy was fed the ball all night, and if he stays healthy, he's going to get freaking 40 touches every game. Deshaun Kaiser got twice as many points as expected. I'm surprised Nick started him, but his other quarterback must be crap. Oh yeah, he is Andrew Luck. Hanging out down there. Carolina had 22 points on the defense. Just a good rounded week for the waiver wire. Nobody really stood out and exploded, but nobody really collapsed other than Eli Manning. Wow, he was bad. Over on Flabby Gooch's side, Carson Wentz looked good. Might be his highest point total all year, but he had 300 passing yards and 2 touchdowns, which are, I think, he's gotten more than 2 touchdowns in a game a couple times, but he's never had 300 yards, so that's huge for him. Devontae Adams looked good when he caught the ball, and he had a couple flags thrown against him. He could have had more points, but he ended up with 7.5. DeAndre Hopkins showed up, he's ready to play. Showed off that he's ready to play, despite the rest of Houston deciding that it's a good time for a year off. Derek Carr had a pretty average game. He could be good this year. Lynch actually looked good over there. So Terrell Pryor Sr. over on the waiver wire side was making a lot of waves this year. And man, his average draft position was high, way too high for me. And he got 12.6. It wasn't a bad night, but he was projected for 16. So that's crazy. I mean, he's had one big year, and before that, he was a failed quarterback. Final matchup of the week, probably the most exciting to watch. Jack and Goff, all over average JoJo's. 166-68. He won by 98 points, give or take. Alex Smith had an amazing night. He was projected for 13 points. He ended up with 4 touchdowns and 368 yards for a 31 fantasy point total. Tyreek Hill, of course, the recipient of a lot of touches on that end, 26.8 points. Corey Coleman, the rookie wide receiver in Cleveland, had 16 points. He had a nice night for his first game ever. But I think the biggest awesome part of Rob's team was Kareem Hunt. And he was on the bench, which is where he kind of deserved to be. And then he came out and he fucking fumbled with his first touch. And his team told him to keep it together. He didn't fumble. I read today he didn't fumble since high school. He didn't fumble in college at all. First touch in the NFL. Oh, man. Anyway, he comes back in and he rushes for 148 yards, catches for another 98 yards, and adds 2 touchdowns. He was ridiculous. He was fun to watch. He's fast, and he's a smart runner for a young guy, man. He doesn't have the Zeke power, but he's got some Zeke talent, man. He's like a one-cut, quick corner. Really nothing really going on Justin's team. Andy Dalton had 1 point. He was not good. Amari Cooper had an alright night, kind of what he was expected to do. Brandon Cooks, I don't know what was going on with that New England offense, but that sucked. So I'm hoping Brandon Cooks and Brady can get on the same fucking page. And I'm sure you are too, Justin, because 68 points. I was making fun of you and I didn't think you were going to break 100. Anywho, 68 points. The other guy on Jack and Goff's bench is Cooper Kupp, the rookie in LA, wide receiver, helping LA get to that 46-9 victory over Indy. He had a touchdown with 4 catches and 74 yards. And he looked good, and he was definitely a favorite target of Wentz. And he's a good 50-50 ball. So yeah, Jacking Goff with, I believe, the highest point total of the week by 5, wins against the lowest point total of the week by about 40. So that brings me right into the Superman of the week is Jacking Goff. You are definitely the Superman of the week. When you stopped drafting, we just thought it'd be funny to throw a bunch of Kansas City players and a bunch of LA players on your fucking team and kind of laugh from the sidelines. Well, they were the 2 highest scoring offenses of the fucking week by a long shot, and you owned all of them. So, joke's on us. Fuck. I hope those 2 teams slow the fuck down. And that brings me to our next segment.
Hey, Elena!
You're a bitch. Justin, you make it too easy, man. 68 points. I honestly looked for a while to try and find another acceptable